This is the SLX400 VQM Genesis series machine. We're going to go over some of the differences from the FM8 to the new SLX400. We do have a different mix feed tube. This is a interim mix feed tube. We're in the process of finalizing the final mold for the new mix feed tube. Right now it is a two-piece, has two O-rings on the bottom, and it fits in the mix feed tube the same as the other one. We do have a rear filling tube coming from the hopper into the back of the cylinder. The cylinder is the same length, but the port is actually towards the front of the hopper. The hopper is a self-draining hopper now, so that will help you with your sanitizer and mix. You do have two separate hopper covers also. For the easiest method, we're going to just pour mix right in the hopper, and we can pull down on the dispense handle and let the mix push out the sanitizer until you get good mix coming out. You can hear the machine bubbling. You can add in more mix. Continue to hear the bubbling of the hopper. Once your hopper is done bubbling, you can then set the selection on your mix feed tube assembly, generally to number 2. Insert the mix feed tube into the hopper. You will then be ready to push the freeze and start the machine, start your operation. This is the option for the application of the self-serve when you would have a wall between the front and the back of the machine. So you would go to the front of the machine, remove the actuator rod, put a bucket underneath the spigot and open up the spigot. Then when you go to the back room, you would then install your mix feed tube, usually in position number 2, insert it in the hopper drain port. You would pour your 1 gallon of mix into the hopper. At this time, your mix will be draining into the cylinder. It's a rear feed cylinder. And you will be pushing mix, or all your sanitizer out of the front, the head. At this time, you can go back around to the front of the machine. You can see that the sanitizer is draining out, and we should start getting mix coming out of the cylinder port. Now you can kind of tell it's getting smoother, and we're starting to see mix coming out after the sanitizer's been dispensed. Once you get the good mix coming out, you can then close your valve and reinsert your actuator rod. Then you would go back to the back of the machine. You can pull out your mix feed tube and see if any more bubbles appear, so make sure your cylinder is completely full. Once your cylinder is completely full, you can then reinsert your mix feed tube into the hopper. We're still bubbling at this point. Then you would go ahead and fill up your hopper to the amount that you want. Put your hopper cover in place. You can go back into the front of the machine. Then you're ready to push the freeze position on your machine and start production.